Hello and welcome back to the Bad Movie Reviews channel, hosted by your favourite two mermen down under, Ben and Daniel, and we will be, it gets worse, we will be reviewing the live-action remake of The Little Mermaid, which is directed by Rob Marshall, who has kind of been churning out these Disney films since probably 2011 with the last Pirates of the Caribbean, Into the Woods, Mary Poppins Returns, and now The Little Mermaid. In terms of plot, there's probably no point touching on it because you would have known of the classic, and it's pretty hard to not understand it. But overall, what did you think of the movie? I have a lot of things to touch on.
I'll be honest here. See, we're both scratching each other's heads at the same time here. This is a bit strange. But I haven't actually processed my thoughts on this, so this is going to kind of be a bit of...
Do you want me to go first then?
Well, no, I'll just say
Soft.
things because I don't know if I'll get anything more by the end of it. And I usually add on something anyway. Anyway, this film was better than I was expecting. I think I set myself some unrealistic, some low expectations because some of the live action stuff is a little bit raw.
Yeah, it's probably best to just say overall live action adaptations by Disney haven't been the best. There's been a few good ones.
I actually really enjoyed Aladdin. But that side note. This I thought was probably the best, one of the best ones that I've seen so far. Actually, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, you know, the score is obviously original to the original film, but they really did bring a nice like modern take on that too, and I feel like they delivered that quite well. You know, a lot higher quality, the same songs, but with their nice little modern spin on it. Big fan of all that. I'm going to kind of like sidetrack a few times here because, as I said, I haven't really like gathered all my thoughts properly. But acting-wise, I really liked the guy that played Prince Eric. What's it, Jonah?
Jonah Howard King.
Yeah. I thought he was phenomenal and great singer. But Halle Bailey, if I'm saying that.
Halle Bailey as Ariel, yep.
Bailey, yep.
Halle Bailey. You
Her,
got it.
her voice was unreal, actually. Is that purely all her?
Yeah, she's got like
yeah, that's why she got the role.
Yeah,
she got the role because of that. That was.
There's been talk that like apparently when they did the audition, they had about 3,000 women or something ridiculous go for the role of Ariel, and she was apparently one of the first. And instantly they heard her and thought that's going to be her, but then they rightfully so had to go through the rest of the auditions.
God, if I close my eyes, I could picture the whole animated film with her voice in it. Like she delivered her role perfectly. I don't know how to, I guess, comment on like the acting props of the film, but I feel like she definitely played her role well. But the singing, which is one of the key iconic parts of, you know, Disney films from this era, she did well. A surprising shout out, actually, Melissa McCarthy. I didn't know what I was going to get out of that. I thought she's just here for a bit of comic relief. Unfortunately, she does play a lot of those characters. But I thought she acted quite well, and she actually had some nice singing props, and it really complimented, I think, that character.
Generally speaking, a lot of actors do. You just don't like...
Oh, yeah.
Which do take you by surprise when all of a sudden they sing, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, yeah, I just wasn't expecting it. Like, I thought pretty much everyone that sang was awesome. Some of the shots throughout the film, if I'm to touch on cinematography side of things and directing, I thought it was well directed and it was well shot. I don't want to be like nitty picky, but there's not too many films that do like full underwater movies. So the only real like comparison here, unfortunately, would be Avatar: Way of Water. But I'm not putting them on the same one. Do not take that out of context. Completely different kind of films, different kind of scope, different kind of thing. The only unfortunate side with that is like, I guess Avatar had this like really nice ultra realism, and probably for this film, it did feel like they filmed it and then threw the water over the top, and they were like, okay, now we're underwater. It didn't seem like there was like proper natural motion throughout it, but it didn't take away from actually like how good the film was, I thought. But yeah, look, overall, I think I enjoyed this film. As I said, I'm slowly processing as I go, but I feel like everyone was great in it. I thought they, when it comes to being faithful to the original, I thought they gave that their best crack too, which a lot of these sometimes have their own like little take on it, a little spin, or sometimes modify some key story aspects. But I felt like they were pretty good to this. This was pretty faithful movie and pretty enjoyable. But Look, I will throw it over to you because I'm just going to jabber on from here. But what did you think of the film?
I had a really good time.
Oh, cool.
I really did enjoy it. I probably not that this is a big compliment by any means, just because I don't think many of the Disney live adaptions have been fantastic, but I probably rank this in my top 2 with Jungle Book and
I completely forgot about Jungle Book.
and this, because I mean Lion King, like I thought it looked beautiful, but it felt lifeless, and Aladdin I did enjoy, but the other one, like Cinderella, was also really good from 2015 or 14, whenever it came out. But I thought this is probably the one that was best adapted.
Yes.
I have a little bit of the only sort of, I guess, cons that I had is I do think the film's a little bit too long. It clocked in at about 2 hours and 15 minutes, which I think the original, for instance, is about an hour and 20. So it's like literally an hour longer. So at times the pacing did feel a little bit off.
I didn't even notice.
And I do think also that there were a couple new songs. One's particularly featuring Scuffle, which is played by Orkin Fenwa, which is the bird. That song was new, and it felt very Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's the writer for the song, who obviously has written Hamilton, which is obviously a fantastic play, which I've seen. But it was the talk and the spoken rap, which kind of felt a little bit out of place to me.
It did, but I think I kind of liked it.
I enjoyed it, but it just kind of like was a bit jarring in a sense. But other than that, getting to the good parts, I do think the film at times did look beautiful.
Yeah.
The visual effects at times were a bit iffy, but for the most part, it did look great. And it is obviously going to be hard when you're obviously dealing with underwater sequences where you obviously are dealing with real humans. No, with real humans, it obviously is going to be hard to integrate. So I thought they did a really good job there. The best part for the film by far, I think, is the cast.
Yeah.
Halle Bailey is absolutely fantastic as Ariel. She's got some serious pipes, and she will be a movie star. You heard it here first. Probably not first, probably 400th, to be honest, but
probably 4,000th.
Probably 4,000th, yeah, correct. But she is fantastic. I don't think I've actually seen her in anything else. This looks to be her first big role, but she will be a genuine movie star. Like, her acting was great.
Yeah.
The best bit about the film, in my opinion, and where the film really worked, is the scenes with Ariel and Prince Eric. I thought Jonah was great as Prince Eric, but not only that, those two actually had great chemistry, and I felt that that's really when the film was elevated beyond being a decent film. I thought this is really good because you believe their love, you believe their chemistry. You know, for instance, like, she can't even talk, and you're buying into everything that's happening.
Yeah, I was in love with it.
You're in love with it. And I do fully agree that Melissa McCarthy was a really great casting. She was great. But I got to give props. You didn't bring it up, but I will. Daveed Diggs as Sebastian is so good in the film. It really works.
Voice acting, definitely.
Voice acting, yeah. Like, Flounder was great. Jacob Tremblay, I think he filmed this through COVID because they were worried about him aging because he's obviously a young kid. And obviously his voice getting naturally deeper. So they filmed his bit like 2 years before the actual film itself was getting made, which is interesting. So, and Awkwafina was fine as well as Scuttle. But as a trio, they were all really good. But there was genuine, really good comedic moments in the film that worked. And as I said, the chemistry is great. The audio is great. And like, it really worked.
Yeah.
I thought it was, I think the realism, there's obviously a lot of talk about the realism of the animals, which obviously when you look at Lion King, for instance, it kind of felt lifeless, but
it was too real.
Well, I think what worked for this ride is that film was 2 hours long, and 100% of the whole film was completely photorealistic animals.
Yeah, true.
It's similar to Jungle Book. Jungle Book had photorealistic animals, but you've also got the little kid integrating with them, and 90% of the film obviously isn't necessarily with Sebastian, Flounder, or Scuttle. So I thought they really integrated that well and actually made them look really good for the most part. The only thing is, obviously, as soon as you make them very photorealistic, you do lose a little bit of that character and the facial expressions that you can give to animated characters. But overall, I think you take that away and you gain a lot with obviously the chemistry and the music that they integrated. But no, I had a really good time with this, and I will recommend a lot of people to see it. I enjoy the original. I know a lot of people have it as their favorite Disney film and things like that. I'd be really interested to see what they think of it and if they like it. But no, I had a really good time, and I do applaud the film and recommend everyone to see it. I'm sure they'll churn out more and more as they do, because naturally they're making a lot of money. They're making billions of dollars, and in terms of copyright, they're extending their rights to obviously owning the property. So I'm sure we'll see more of it. But look, if they're going to make more and they add, they do well and they add things to, I guess, the film, the original, and you have both that can stand side by side and both coexist, then I'm all for it. I'm not going to be against it. That's all I can really say. I just hope that obviously they continue and bring a little something new to it, which this one, I think you really had that great chemistry, the great performances amongst the sort of main cast.
What do you think of King Triton? I felt like he was good at times, but he seemed kind of out of place too.
I thought he was good. I just thought like he reined it in a little bit. He was trying to get a bit of a Disney paycheck. There wasn't much going on with his performance. He just was playing the stoic father who's got to be serious all the time. But
know that.
It was fine. It wasn't. I mean, he's really only in the film for 5 minutes, so I didn't necessarily take anything away. But I'm all for it. I think Jonah Hauer-King as well hasn't necessarily been in much either. This is his first big breakout role, and I'd be really keen to see him in anything in the future because I thought he was great. And yeah, no, I had a really good time, and I do recommend people to see it. I think it's funny.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
The voice as well, the soundtrack alone was really good, and the score, which obviously accompanied the actual original music, was fantastic. So by all means, please do see it because I had a great time. Not that you probably need to hear that again for the 10th time because at the end of the day, this is probably going to make $2 billion plus. So you've probably already seen it. So if you have, comment below, let us know what you think, and we'll catch you next time.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.